The United Nations has announced the creation of a task force dedicated to developing technical and diplomatic mechanisms for maintaining the flow of humanitarian goods and fertilizers through the Strait of Hormuz amid ongoing disruptions.
중동 분쟁이 격화하면서 호르무즈 해협이 사실상 봉쇄되자 여기서 발생하는 인도주의적 문제에 대응하기 위해 유엔이 태스크포스를 구성했다고 밝혔습니다. 이 태스크포스의 주요 목표는 호르무즈 해협에서 인도주의 물품 수송 및 비료 무역의 흐름을 원활하게 해줄 기술적, 외교적 메커니즘을 개발하는 것입니다.
Yes. So obviously, the conflict in the Middle East right now seems like there's no end in sight at the moment.
It's been over a month now.
Yeah, and it's wreaking havoc all across the world. We obviously know the effects on oil and energy and gas shipments, but it's not just that. We're talking about humanitarian goods that need to pass through here, but also fertilizer, which is a very important product. About 30% of the world's fertilizer, passes through this strait. So this task force, which consists of many organizations, including the International Maritime Organization and the UN Trade and Development Group, its primary objective is to create a neutral, monitored corridor to allow the safe passage of these shipments. And Iran has sort of jumped on this as well, tweeting just after the announcement that Iran has decided to facilitate and further expedite the safe passage of humanitarian shipments through the Strait of Hormuz. So let's hope that at least this alleviates sort of any worries for insurers that need to ship goods through this strait and de-escalate regional tensions, hopefully.
이렇게 호르무즈 해협의 봉쇄로 인해서 정말 많은 물품들과 심지어는 식량과 생필품도 이게 제대로 운송되지 못하고 있기 때문에 많은 사람들에게 큰 그 생활의 불편함 또 더 나아가서 위기까지도 초래하고 있는데요. 자, 표현을 좀 보도록 하겠습니다. This is because of the ongoing disruptions. Let's look at that first.
Sure. So if something's ongoing, that means it's continuous. It's continuing. It's repeated without interruption. And a disruption would be something like a disturbance or an interruption or a problem, right?
ongoing 한 단어고요. 지속적인, 계속되고 있는. disruption은 혼란, 원래 이제 방해 이런 의미가 있을 수 있는데요. 지속적인 지금 이제 혼란 상황, 분쟁 상황을 얘기하고 있죠.
Right.
Now, because of that, the UN has decided to create a task force. And what is this task force dedicated to doing? Well, it's dedicated to developing all these different mechanisms to help the flow of goods and fertilizer, as you said.
Right, because the purpose of a task force usually has one purpose, right? It could be multiple purposes, but it's committed or it's devoted to some sort of activity or a purpose or a person, in fact, sometimes as well. I know in Korean, oftentimes people just say TF.
Yeah,
but
in English we don't, right?
We don't
No.
because it's the same number of syllables, so there's no need to.
그러네요.
There's no need to abbreviate task force, but
네, 그거는 이제 콩글리시이기는 한데요. 우리는 task force 줄여서 TF라고 얘기 많이 하지만 영어에서는 사실 TF라고 하지 않습니다.
No.
지금 지적해 주신 그 이유 때문인 것 같아요. task force나 TF나 영어에서는 똑같은 이음절이에요. 굳이 다른 단어로 바꿀 필요가 없습니다. 자, 그런데 이제 task force가 어떤 목표를 가지고 있느냐, 무엇에 이제 전념하게 되느냐라는 표현을 it's dedicated to doing something 이렇게 표현을 하고 있는 거죠.
Right. Oftentimes in a book, an author will dedicate the book to someone, who influenced them. Right?
이 책을 누구누구에게 바칩니다라고 할 때 I dedicate this book to blah blah blah. 다시 읽어볼게요. The United Nations has announced the creation of a task force dedicated to developing technical and diplomatic mechanisms for maintaining the flow of humanitarian goods and fertilizers through the Strait of Hormuz amid ongoing disruptions. Here's our next headline.
Indonesia has introduced a social media ban for children under the age of 16, the first of its kind in Southeast Asia, following Australia's lead in protecting young people from potential online harms.
인도네시아가 잠재적 온라인 피해로부터 청소년을 보호하기 위해 16세 미만 미성년자의 주요 소셜미디어 사용을 금지했습니다. 이는 세계 최초로 이 같은 조치를 취한 호주에 이은 두 번째 사례며 동남아시아 국가 중에는 처음입니다.
Yeah, so if you remember back in December, Australia was the first country in the world to restrict social media access. And since then, 4.7 million accounts belonging to children have been revoked in Australia. But now, for the first time in Southeast Asia, children will be blocked from having accounts on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, all of them. And that applies to about 70 million children, or accounts at least, in Indonesia, obviously with a large population there. Yeah. And, enforcement and account deactivation are going to happen sort of gradually, but eventually the government plans to levy fines on platforms that don't comply and has not ruled out a complete nationwide ban.
인도네시아 인구가 2억 8천만 명 정도나 되는군요.
I believe it's probably top 5 population in the
굉장히
world.
많은데
Yeah.
그중에 한 25%에 해당이 되는 16세 미만의 청소년, 미성년자, 그러니까 한 7천만 명의 아이들의 소셜미디어 어카운트가 이제 금지되는 겁니다. 더 이상 사용할 수가 없게 되고요. 조금 전에 열거해 주신 대로 유튜브, 틱톡, 페이스북, 인스타그램, Threads, X, 비고 라이브, 로블록스 다 해당됩니다. 자, 그런데요. 이제 3월 28일부터였으니까 지금 며칠 안 됐어요. 이제 세계 두 번째로 이렇게 법적 효력을 발생하게 된 그런 케이스입니다.
Yeah, and it's not or maybe it's a coincidence, but just last week as well, in the U.S., companies like Meta and YouTube were fined because and they were ordered to pay millions of dollars because it turns out that these companies were designing programs and products that were addictive, and they knew this, and it causes harm to young people. So I think we're now just learning sort of the harmful effects of social media because, especially for children, it can be very toxic.
Yeah. Other countries around the world are taking similar actions to enforce this.
Yes.
But the two countries that have actually gone ahead with it are Australia and now Indonesia. Let's have a look at the expressions. The first of its kind.
Yes, so we're talking about how Indonesia would be the first in Southeast Asia
Yep.
to implement such a law, meaning that they would be the very first example of something or something that hasn't been done before, never been made before, something that's unprecedented.
Yeah, the first of its kind. 여기서 kind는 종류라는 뜻이 있습니다. First of its kind는 이런 종류로는 최초다. 그래서 동남아시아에서 이런 소셜 미디어 ban을 시행한 국가로는 최초다. What about the potential online harms of social media?
Sure. So if something's potentially, right, it means there's a possibility of something. And an online harm would be sort of risks or negative effects that people might face on the internet when they're sort of on their devices.
It's used in the plural here because there's more than one.
Yes, that's a good point because harms as a noun here isn't usually pluralized like this, but there could be multiple harms. So in this case, it works.
Potential 잠재적인 online harms. 온라인상에서의 문제나 피해를 얘기하죠.
Yeah, and in terms of what sort of harms, we could be things like cyberbullying that children can face, scams, misinformation, and also privacy breaches as well.
그렇죠. 여러 가지 피해를 아이들이 입을 수 있는데 그것을 방지하고 그냥 아예 처음부터 막기 위해서 이런 조치를 취한 겁니다. 자, 다시 읽어볼게요. Indonesia has introduced a social media ban for children under the age of 16, the first of its kind in Southeast Asia, following Australia's lead in protecting young people from potential online harms. Okay, now let's move on to the final headline.
Major U.S. airlines are reported to have steadily reduced the number of economy class seats and expanded premium seating in a strategy aimed at boosting profitability by increasing the proportion of higher-priced seats.
미국 주요 항공사들이 최근 몇 년 동안 이코노미 좌석은 꾸준히 줄이는 반면 퍼스트 클래스 등의 프리미엄 좌석 공급은 확대해온 것으로 전해졌습니다. 이는 고가의 좌석 비율을 늘려서 수익성을 높이려는 전략으로 분석됩니다.
Yes. So, I don't know. The U.S. domestic sort of airline industry is going through a lot of problems right now. Most at present, there's a partial government shutdown, if you know, and that's affecting a lot of sort of the activities at U.S. airports with lines up to 4-5 hours long, which is quite incredible. But airlines are also doing sort of scheming in this way in terms of introducing these sort of quasi-premium products, right? So they're not business class seats, but they're not economy, so they're sort of economy premium. And you can see this when these companies, these airlines are buying new aircrafts. So for example, United Airlines, the proportion of economy seats previously was around 58%, but they've reduced that to about 40% to try and get people to maybe upgrade if possible. And at the same time, airlines are also reinforcing strategies to segment their seating by adding these premium economy seats between economy and business class.
And this isn't just the big airliners, but we're talking about, the low-cost carriers as well. They have different names for these quasi-premium seats. Some airliners might call them economy plus or premium economy, or the name doesn't really matter. The main point is that they have these slightly upgraded seats, which are more expensive, but not as expensive as first class or business. So I guess as a passenger, you may be tempted to buy this slightly upgraded seat.
Yeah, even everything is priced now in the U.S. In terms of domestic flights. I was quite surprised the last time I took a U.S. domestic flight where you had to pay if you wanted to choose your seat, first of all. If you wanted to add any baggage, any check-in baggage is a cost. And of course, any food or drinks, that's definitely not
That's the same
provided.
for some airliners here in Korea as well. 항공사들 우리 이제 carrier라고 하기도 하는데요. 우리도 이제 LCC 저가 항공사에서 이렇게 하고 있는 데가 몇 군데 있습니다. 그러니까 이코노미석 그다음에 이제 우리가 전통적으로 생각할 때는 그 다음에 뭐 비즈니스석 이런 식으로 뭐 퍼스트 클래스는 더 위에 있고, 그런데 이제 그 사이사이에 조금 다른 티어들을 만든 거죠. 그래서 이코노미보다는 조금 더 좋은 프리미엄석들을 만들다 보니 돈 조금 더 보태서 그러면 내가 좀 편안하게 갈까 하는 마음이 고객의 입장에선 생길 수도 있고, 항공사 측에서도 사실은 이제 수익성을 바라고 하는 것인데, 저가 항공은 지금 얘기해 주신 대로 추가적으로 내야 되는 비용이 상당히 많죠.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about some of the expressions in this story. Steadily.
Yeah, so what these airlines are doing is they're changing these sort of pricing schemes, not all of a sudden, but they're doing it sort of gradually, consistently in a controlled way without these sudden changes. And that's what steadily is, right?
Steadily is an adverb. So it comes with an adjective or a verb. 자, 무언가를 꾸준히 할 때 do it steadily라는 부사를 쓸 수 있습니다.
Right. So the company's profits have grown steadily. for example.
회사의 수익이 조금씩 꾸준히 오르고 있습니다. 그런가 하면은 이제 steady라는 형용사도 우리가 많이 듣게 되는데요. 가장 대표적으로는 slow and steady wins the race.
Yes. Tortoise and the hare.
그렇죠. 그때는 steady, not steadily. 왜냐하면 형용사로 쓰기 때문이죠. What about premium?
Yeah, so premium, the primary sort of definition is anything that's high quality, right?
Yeah.
Anything that's superior, or if you want to add features or upgraded features. But there's also the meaning, ironically, of an extra cost or a fee, especially when you talk about insurance premiums, right?
그렇죠. 추가적인 그런 뭐 보험료
Yes.
이런 것들을 프리미엄이라고 부르기도 하는데요. 여기서는 고급의 의미로 보시면 됩니다. 다시 읽어볼게요. Major US airlines are reported to have steadily reduced the number of economy class seats and expanded premium seating in a strategy aimed at boosting profitability by increasing the proportion of higher priced seats. All right, well, that's it for the headlines this morning with Shane Harm.